Already, my name is Marina Johnson, and this is my final portfolio assignment for English 13 at GD. Alright, so this portfolio really was centered on facts during English 1301 at Encouraging that demonstrates the achievement of the six Texas SLOs, which are state outcomes for communication, which are critical thinking, written communication, oral communication, visual communication, teamwork, and personal responsibility. The artifacts included were chosen purposely to show not only my final products, but also my thinking process, collaboration with my peers, and my responsibility as a student and communicator. And together, I believe that these works reflect my development as a writer and researcher, speaker throughout the semester in my career. So first, starting with critical thinking, my research paper, How Does AI Affect Student Literacy in America, demonstrates my critical thinking through the analysis, evaluation, and synthesis of different perspectives on the complex issue of AI literacy in student education. I examine both scholarly and non-scholarly sources to explore how artificial intelligence influences student learning and literacy. And rather than exploring a single viewpoint, I took a look at multiple perspectives, including the perspectives of educators, researchers, and journalists. The goal was to evaluate the credibility and relevance of each source, distinguishing between optimistic arguments that emphasize success and supports AI, as well as contradictory things that warn against the over-reliance on it. Throughout the paper, I compared arguments, identified tendencies between opportunity and risk, and I used the evidence that I found to create a well-reasoned conclusion. Rather than treating AI as inherently good or bad, I treated it as a tool whose impact depends on how students and educators use it. And this approach required me to question assumptions that I had, draw connections to my own learning, draw connections across the texts, and consider ethical and educational implications, all of which demonstrate critical thinking as the defined or objective. Written communication. The same research paper also serves as evidence of my written communication skills, and the essay is structured with a clear introduction, thesis, body paragraphs, all organized by key arguments and the different texts that I chose to write about. And my conclusion synthesizes the discussion. I adapted my writing to an academic audience by using full tone, smoothly, and following genre conventions for college-level research paper. Revision was really important in strengthening this paper specifically. We had two drafts, and through peer feedback and my own revisions, I was able to clarify my thesis, improve the transition between sections, and I was able to really take a look at the language I was using and clarify it and make it more complex, but not too complex, just perfect for like the academic setting. And I feel that this final draft really reflects my ability to communicate these complex ideas in an effective manner while making sure my paper is coherent and focused through the entire paper. Visual communication is also demonstrated through the same research paper through the formatting and organization. We had to follow specific MLA guidelines and patterns in the graph. Paragraph structure, spacing, and citations were all critical to distributing the MLA feedback. Consistent layout and clear presentation of sources also helps understanding, and reinforce the credibility of my essay. And while the paper is primarily text-based, the visual elements of structure and formatting play important roles in how information is received. These choices show my awareness that visual design, even in traditional academic writing, contributes to effective communication. As far as oral communication goes, my oral communication skills were demonstrated in the recorded video of one of my other portfolios where I discuss and explain the assignments that I selected for the course. In the video, I communicate my ideas verbally in a clear and organized manner, explaining my reasoning for why I chose each artifact and reflecting on each artifact in the video. My goal was to adapt my speech to an academic tone, make sure that I was speaking smoothly with consistent pacing, and make sure what I was saying was clear so that my audience could follow exactly what I was saying with little to no confusion. And oral communication overall has been an area that I find challenging for myself, and I believe that this video, shows my ability to, present my thoughts clearly to the best of my ability. And I believe that for the majority of the video, I was pretty confident in my oral communication. And if you were to look at the first video I recorded for the class and the second video, you would see that there's a growth in my confidence level between the two videos. Teamwork. For the teamwork assignment, I chose the original student learning outcomes assignment, and I would say that it demonstrates my engagement with teamwork because the assignment required collaboration between me and the peers at the table, discussing why we chose certain answer choices for different questions regarding which situation we believed went with which specific learning outcome. Some of us had different ideas, and for those reasons, it was valid to choose multiple answer choices instead of just one that we each picked. And it was really important to listen to different perspectives, be able to explain my own reasoning and adjust my thinking when other students made stronger arguments that were better than mine. And I think that collaborative processes like this emphasize respect, communication, and a shared responsibility, because it's important to actively participate rather than just work alone and isolate yourself from the group. And I think that specifically skills that I learned in terms of teamwork are going to help me in the future once I get a job and move into the real world. Finally, personal responsibility. I would say that personal responsibility was also demonstrated through that video recording where I had mentioned, because I had to carefully choose each individual artifact, submit the assignment on time, and I had to take ownership of my learning by explaining why I chose specific assignments, how they reflect my growth. And it shows my accountability for academic choices, as well as the awareness of my own strengths and areas of improvement. I think that my paper also reflects on ethical responsibilities through proper citation, honest engagement with sources, and their respect for intellectual property. And across my work, I believe that I demonstrated my understanding how my actions as a student, such as preparation, organization, and ethical research practices, truly impact the quality and integrity. Overall, the artifacts included in this portfolio collectively demonstrate my achievement of the 6 student outcomes over this semester and how I've developed as a student. And I hope that I will continue to build on these skills in my future academic and professional pursuits. Thank you.